Testing, testing. There we go. I have audio. It's kind of getting into the red, though. Let's turn that down. All right. Let's do Mastering Orbital Flight. The race for space between the USSR and the US is still going strong, and the USSR has achieved more firsts than the US. We are in catch-up mode. Both Vostok and the new USSR spacecraft Voskhod is making firsts at a rapid pace, such as the longest time in orbit, EVA, and multi-crew operations in space. During Project Mercury, the President announced the goal of landing astronauts on the Moon. To reach this goal, the development of a new program called Project Apollo was started. Project Mercury successfully met its goal of sending astronauts into Earth orbit and returning them safely to Earth. Building on its success, a new spacecraft has been developed to further learn and understand how orbital flight works. The program is called Project Gemini. Before sending anyone to the Moon, we need to learn everything needed to do so and test it. Gemini's objective is to understand and test space travel techniques needed to support the Apollo mission to land astronauts on the Moon. A lunar mission needs us to survive in space for up to 14 days, understand the methods of performing extravehicular activity, and the orbital maneuvers necessary to achieve rendezvous and docking with another spacecraft. The Gemini spacecraft is the largest spacecraft with room for 2 astronauts, barely, and has the capability to alter its trajectory in space. The larger spacecraft is divided into 3 major sections: the Reentry module, the Retro module, and the Equipment module. Both the retro and the equipment are separated from the spacecraft before re-entry. The re-entry is a pressurized crew cabin that makes it possible to survive in space. It is the only part of the spacecraft that makes it the entire journey from launch to splashdown. It is powered by 2 different sources: batteries, as in Project Mercury, and the newly developed fuel cells that produce power from cryogenic substances. 2 attitude control systems, named the RCS, is used for attitude control during re-entry. A state-of-the-art onboard computer will aid the crew in performing orbital maneuvers and guidance. 2 different types of joystick provide control for the spacecraft in both yaw, pitch, roll, and translational axes. Translational control enables rendezvous docking and crew control flight path. Blah blah blah, we've already done this. A new spacecraft. And the new Gemini is ready for its maiden flight, and the flight has been assigned to you and your crew. The goal is to test some of the core systems and maneuvering capabilities. So I've done the Academy, and I've done some of the scenarios. I've gotten decent at rendezvous, docking, that sort of stuff. Enough that I feel pretty competent at it. So I feel comfortable doing these campaigns. Alright. We are solid 90 minutes prior to launch. Good morning. How are you feeling? Seats okay? Roger. The sky is loaded. Feeling good? All strapped in. Sounds good. Once again, you're the first to fly. We are excited for the mission and seeing this state-of-the-art spacecraft fly. So are we, Patrick. Aaron and I will proceed with the cockpit setup. Checklists. Follow the procedures. Cool. Interior inspection. Cabin lights on. Let's get this thing ready for flight. Alright. As you've requested, we are in the cold and dark state. Use the run feature and complete the interior inspection checklist. You can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do the checklist properly. Cabin lights on. On. Let's turn that all the way up. Well, not all the way up. Just decently enough. Alright. Let's move this off to the side. Cabin lights on. Dimmer is required. Secondary O2 bottle shut off open. It is open. Abort handle normal. It is normal. All CBs closed, except the TR-256 CB. So that's all of these, except for that one. Let's move down to the side. There we go. All of them closed. Closed is up, because these are circuit breakers and not switches. Oh, those are squibs. Those are not circuit breakers. All right. Sequence slice test, which is right here. Attitude indicator with FDI. Yes, I want them bright. Alright. Sequence size test is off. Which is, yeah. So, amber, off, red. So if we go up to amber really quick, we have all of the amber lights are illuminated. And then if we go to red, we can test all the red lights. All the red lights are illuminated. And the green ones too, by the way. But we want those off. Alright. Attitude indicator with FDI, with FDI. Boost insert safe, safe. Retro power, safe. Retro jettison safe. And rocket squibs are all safe. CP panel, FDR comp. FDM rate, which is there. FDA scale low. There we go. Event timer standby will start on liftoff. Event timer zeroed. Event timer mode A. Overhead panel. All CBs closed except the ohms heater and the H2O heaters. So that is going to be well, let's hit the run button and see. Alright, yeah, so we do need to close all of these. Alright, clear all. We don't want the H2O heater. And we don't want the ohms heater. Cabin light, attitude indicator, lights can be on. Center lights could be off. Cool. TMAC is on. DC converter is primary, which is right here. Primary. Center lights as needed. We don't need them. Actually, let's turn them on bright. And that's this light. Acme bias power, primary. That is this, primary. Roll jets to yaw. Ohms res safe. I don't actually know where that is. Oh, there it is. Safe. Attitude drivers primary. And Acme logic switches 3 are all primary. That might be... Oh, this says it's the overhead panel. Acme logic. There it is. Primary, primary, primary. Center panel. Cabin air recirc. Up. Inlet snorkel valve up. That's that one. Cabin vent up. Water seal handle up. O2 high rate recock up. Suit fan off. Primary pumps A and B off. Radiator bypass. Evap heat off. Evap flow. Max flow. Secondary pumps A and B off. Mission timer start. Yes. Will automatically count up on liftoff. Good. H2 vac tank closed. That's right here. Closed. TDA rigid control off. Off. TDA undock control off. Off. Cryo heaters O2 and H2 are off. Off. Ultra high frequency transmitter is number 1. High frequency transmitter off. Silence off. That's going to be silence off. Keying constant interphone push to talk. Record continuous. Times Alright, well, I haven't finished the checklist yet. Record continuous. Beacon control resc. Beacon control resc off. Beacon control S-band command. Beacon control C-band cont. TM control calib number 1. TM control standby TM RT. And TM control TM RT and acquisition. Date playback command. Oh, command is there. Antenna select reentry. HF antenna position control off, which is the center switch. Number 1 audio switch UHF. UHF. Pedestal radar off. Platform free. Scanner off. The rate gyros all need to be primary. Computer needs to be off, which it is. Computer mode pre-launch. Attitude control platform. Ohms prop motor valve closed. Prop motor valves A, RCS A and B closed. Ohms control power off. Control power RCS A and B closed. Yes, middle switch. Repressurization knob closed. Make sure that that actually is closed. Yes, good. Pilot panel over here. Aux tape on reset. Mode auto. Crossover off. X over. I don't actually know what that is. X over off. There it is. Fuel control section 1. Fuel center purge off. Power off. Fuel section 2. Power off. FC purge off. Fuel cells. All 6 of them are off. MDIU off. DP select off. Voltmeter C. FDI select range low. FDR comp. FDM attitude. Right panel, all CBs closed, except it's just all of them closed. Alright. Alright, attitude indicator with FDI, AC power IGS, biomed recorder 1 and 2, continuous, RCS heater off, bus tie 1 and 2 off, main batteries 4 off, squib batteries 3 umbilical, Agena control bus standby arm, or bus arm is safe. There it is. Secondary oxygen shutoff open. FC section 1 and 2 warm up. Start battery check at 50 minutes. Alright. So now just verify that indeed everything is. There we go. Oh, these are part of the circuit breakers. Okay. As well as these. That was my bad. Yeah, power off. Yep. Start battery checklist. Cool. So at 50 minutes, start the battery checklist. Roger, let's complete the battery check at T-minus 50 minutes. Use the run feature to complete the battery check checklist. We're going to need to be in the pilot seat for the battery check checklist, and so we time accelerate. Alright. Battery check. Batteries 1, 2, 3, 4, and off. Battery 1, test. This is in a weird order. Voltmeter BT, which is over here. BT. Verify the volts is greater than 24. It's at 24, so that works. Battery 1 off. Battery 2 test. Well, let's go to the center panel. It's going to be slightly easier to see both. So it's basically testing all of these batteries. Yep, battery 3 is good. Battery 4 test is good. Alright, voltmeter C. Oh, and then it wants me to run. Cool. Checklist complete. Proceeding to the fuel cell check. Alright. Roger, fuel cell check. Use the run feature and complete the fuel cell checklist. You can't tell me what to do. You're not my real mother. It says to wait for T-minus 45. I think the battery check is supposed to last 5 minutes. Alright. Roger Dodger. Fuel cell 1A through 2C on. Voltmeter 1A. Verify volts 24. Voltmeter 1B. Verify volts 24. Voltmeter 1C. Verify volts 24. 2A 24. 2B 24. 2C 24. Turn all of these back off. Back to C. Cool. Clear all. Checklist complete. We're preparing the squib and abort test. Please proceed with the checklist, and when ready for the test, request the squib and abort test using the comms menu. Roger, we'll start the squib and abort checklist. It says to do that at T-minus 40 minutes. Alright. Squib and abort check. Squib batteries 3 off. Off, off, off. Voltmeter select S1. There it is, S1. Verify voltmeter indicates 0 volts. Squib batteries to umbilical. I'm going to go back to the center panel. Cool. Verify volts 24. 24. Squib batteries 1 and 2 off. Okay. Oh, off is middle. There we go. Verify voltmeter indicates 0 volts. Yes. Voltmeter select S2. Verify indicates 0 volts. Squib batteries 1 and 2 back to umbilical. And we get 24 volts. Verify all squibs. Umbilical, umbilical, umbilical. Voltmeter select center, center. Verify volts 24, 24. Verify abort lights 2, extinguished. So there's one there. And there's one right there. I'm going to turn off the center lights. They're too bright. There we go. A little bit washed out. Request abort squib check from the blockhouse. Abort squibs check. If squibs are okay, verify abort lights are illuminated, which they are. They're both there. After 15 seconds, results are returned. If success, proceed. If failed, repeat. Verify abort lights on. Aborts and squib test completed successfully. Sweet. And we're going to need to actually run the checklist. There we go. Checklist completed. Roger. I've tried to change my name from player 1, but it doesn't actually stick. Roger, we will switch to internal power at T-minus 15 minutes. Walk through the briefing in the mission pad and use the timescale if you feel like it. Roger, will do. Alright, let's check out the briefing. The mission is just the maiden flight. We have launch time. Our goal is to splash down safely. The Gemini capsule is designed to carry a crew of 2 into orbit and has the capability of changing its attitude in all axes as well as maneuvering in all axes. By carefully maneuvering in a given direction at the correct time with a predefined burn length, we will be able to alter the orbital trajectory of the aircraft. Before attempting this mission, please complete the academy. Ingress T-minus 90 minutes, cold and dark setup. The first Gemini mission is the following primary objectives: ascend into a predefined target orbit, execute a burn at the first perigee to circularize orbit to 161. If deviations on insertion axis, these parameters will be slightly different. Safely splash down in the Atlantic Ocean. So we're basically going into orbit, changing our orbit, and then returning to Earth. Pretty simple. Alright, we're waiting for T-minus 15. We are ready for the switch to full internal power. Complete the checklist using the run feature. Once again, you can't tell me what to do. Full internal power. Main battery switch, or main batteries 1 through 4 on. On. Squib batteries on. On. Fuel cells 1A through 2C on. Fuel cell section power 1 and 2 on. Request to switch to internal power. Switch to internal power. Switching to internal power. Cool. So if I turn 1A off, yeah, we get a higher load on 1B and 1C, and a slight rise in the entire section 2. That's actually kind of interesting. Yeah, because sections 1 and 2 are load sharing, and since I've turned off a third of the power cells in section 1, the other 2 have to be higher to catch up, whereas all of section 2 rises evenly. That's actually kind of nifty. Sweet. Start pre-flight checklist. Oh, let's run this. Switch to internal power. Check. Checklist complete. Roger. Prepare to run the pre-flight checklist at T-minus 5 minutes. Roger. Let's preview the pre-flight checklist. We verify that the main batteries and squib batteries are on, that the fuel cells are on, and the powers are on. We're going to turn on the computer power and the MDIU. Octate power is already on. Boost insert squib is on, or is going to be on. We're going to turn on primary coolant and secondary coolant pumps A, leaving pumps B off. Radiator is going to be on bypass. Suit fans 1 and 2. Platform free, it already is. Scanner primary. And then wait for the alignment, or the computer pre-check complete. That's going to be over here. It's not going to take too long. We're going to push the start button. Set it to ascent mode. Open up the prop motor valve, and all of the prop motor valves, and the ohms control power is going to stay off, as well as the RCS control power. MDU 72. And then a radio check. 72, I believe, is something to do with the abort. 72. Total, IV, and feet per second. I do not necessarily know what that means. We will figure that out. Alright, so it's not too long, so I can wait until 5 minutes. Complete the pre-flight checklist and prepare for flight. Well, you're a minute early, but okay. I'll take it. Verify main batteries. All 4 of them are on. Squib batteries 1 through 3 on. Fuel cell stack 1A to 2C are all on. Section powers on. Computer power on. MDIU power on. Aux tape on. On. Boost insert squib armed. Arm. Retro squibs 1 through 4. Arm. Primary coolant pump A on. Primary coolant pump B off. Secondary coolant pump A on. Secondary coolant pump B off. Radiator bypass. Suit fans number 1 and 2. Platform free. Scanner primary. Ejection seat D-ring. It is active. Cool. OBC init and alignment. Alright, computer push start. Oh, wait. Wait for the computer pre-check to be complete, which it is. Alright. Now, computer push start. Start. And then we wait for the FDAI to finish rotating. It's still spinning. There we go. It is no longer spinning. Computer ascent. Attitude control. Rate command. OMS prop motor valve open. RCS A and B prop motor valves open. OMS control power off. RCS A and B control power off. MDU 72. Radio check. Radio check. Read your 5x5. And there we go. Monitoring the platform alignment towards the planned launch azimuth on the FDII is critical. Roger, countdown proceeding as planned. Start the double check the platform is aligned and okay. The rocket will roll into the planned azimuth and start pitching into orbit. Keep your hands on the D-ring. Yeah, we got this. Can't wait to see the Earth horizon again. Alright, so speaking of that D-ring, let's talk about this D-ring. If we go into abort mode 1, up to 75,000 feet. If that red light shines. 1 second, pull the D-ring on the ejection seat. 1.5 seconds, the hatch opens. 2-second delay, seat's ejected. Seat sustained or fired for 2.25 seconds. Seat band separation, and the chute opens. So you just pull the D-ring, and we get ejected out of here. That's what the D-ring is for. And that's only for below 75,000 feet. Above that, we basically have to... it's a bunch of other things. Retro squad rocket squibs armed pre-launch, which they are. Abort handle to shutdown, which is this one. Wait 5 seconds for thrust decay. Abort launch control handle abort. Separation from launch vehicle. The retro rocket fire or salvo fired. If we're less than 25,000 feet, which shouldn't be a thing, because typically we should just be ejecting above or up to 75,000 feet. There's a big delay. Wait for the time delay. Jettison the retro adapter, which is up here. Jettison retro. Maneuver the spacecraft to reentry attitude, normal reentry, drogue chute, etc. Which is abort mode 2. And abort mode 3 is basically you're most of the way into orbit. And then you do a normal re-entry procedure from there. So really, up to 75,000 feet is this. Else, it's abort mode 2, which is this. And then else, it's abort mode 3. Anyway, we have to do the ascent checklist pretty soon. Alright, we'll just hit the rod button. Verify the FDI, indicate roll offset for the trajectory azimuth. Check. Computer mode ascent and not running. Ascent, not running. Ignition monitor engines 1 and 2. It's going to be red for the pressure buildup and then just be off. Engine 2 button will glow amber because it's ready for ignition. 30 seconds. We're going to also make sure that the clock is, this clock starts, that clock starts, and the computer light illuminates. Let's light this candle. This is it.
4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition.
Okay, we got good pressure. Liftoff. The clock's running. Clocks are running. The computer's running. We've got a roll program. There's a lot of shaking. I don't like this. Is it gonna stop rolling at some point? There we go. We are very not pointing in the right direction, though. Yep, something went wrong again. I'm not sure what is causing this. This keeps happening to me.
Mark, 50 seconds. You're looking good, 8.
Entering abort mode 1-2. Yeah, this is not flying well. Yeah, all good. This is not all good.
Roger, staging.
Am I not allowed to eject? Yeah, we're gonna try this again. Reload the mission. Alright. I don't know why that happens. Maybe I'm not waiting long enough for the alignment to complete before I put the computer into ascent mode. Normally running through the whole cold dark procedures fixes that. Alright. Seats are okay, yes. Feeling good, all strapped in. Let's try this a second time. Alright, checklist. Interior inspection, run. We'll just do it. Turn on the flashlight, yes. Overhead panel, cabin lights on. Dim controls set. That's a fine dim control, honestly. Turn off the flashlight. Alright. All of the these on except for TR-256. Alright, computer rate high. Event timer zeroed. Yes. Auto. Alright. Fuse. Oh, except for the O2 heaters. Not the ohms, heaters, attitude indicator lights as needed. All of these on. Circuit breakers on. Fuse TM on. Primary, primary, yaw, primary, max flow. There we go. Checklist complete. Time scale to 50. Time scale to 50. Alright, battery check. This is going to be annoying because it goes off. This goes to battery test. Off, on, 24. Off, on, 24. Off, on, 24. Off, back to C. Start fuel cell checklist. Roger. On. 1A, 24. 1B, 24. 1C, 24. 2A, 24. 2B, 24. 2C, 24. Center, checks. Checklist complete. Except it doesn't tell you to turn the fuel cells off. Squib and abort test. Proceed with the squib and abort test. Alright. Off. S1. Verify 0. Squib 1s, 2, 3 to umbilical. We're at 24 volts. Checks. 1 and 2 go off. Verify 0. S2, verifying 0. Umbilical, 24 volts. They're all on umbilicals now. Back to C, 24 volts. Abort test lights, verify extinguished. Yep. Request squib and abort test from Blockhouse. Abort lights on. Abort. Test completed successfully. Checklist completed. Team has 15 minutes. Walk through the briefing. We already did that. 15 minutes. Full internal power, run. Verify, or turn all of the main batteries on. Squibs to battery. Fuel cells on. Power on. Got good power. Switch to internal power. Checklist at 5 minutes. Complete the pre-flight checklist and prepare for launch. Cool. Pre-flight checklist. Run. Verify all the things are on. Computer on. MCIU on. Armed. Armed, 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 armed. Pump. Pump. 1 and 2. Primary. OBC self-test or self-checks are complete when this all zeroes out. Zeroes out. Ejection mounted. Computers push. Alright. So we'll see what this does. We are at basically north. So when I hit the start button, this thing rotates westward, which is an odd direction for it to rotate. Rocket will roll into the planned azimuth and start pitching into orbit. Keep your hand on the D-ring. Yeah. It says to be in computer mode. I don't like that it's facing west. West is the wrong direction to launch. Alright, well, computer mode ascent. Up to rate command on. 72. Perform a radio check. Reentry 5x5. Let's see if this works. Verify platform alignment. Alright, so we want to be in free. Yes. These are on. We're told to power the AC through the IGS. That makes sense. We're in ascent mode. It's not running. Rate command. Alright. Here goes. Once again. Okay. Clocks are running, engines are lit, computer is running. It's a lot of shaking. Once again, yeah, we're like careening off into oblivion. Don't like that we're careening off into oblivion. This isn't a pitch program. This is a bad start. Yeah, like we're flying northwest.
Mark, 50 seconds. You're looking good, 8.
This is not the direction we want to be flying. Or the attitude at which we want to be flying. What is going on? Why does Gemini do this? Yeah, we're basically pointing at the horizon now, and we're only 50,000 feet up. We're gonna start dropping soon, just because. I wonder what happens. I'm just gonna let it fly and see if it just like fixes itself. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah, we're going north right now. We're like entering a hyperpolar orbit. Yeah, we're flying northwest. We're pointing. We're pointing the wrong direction. We're gonna drop this first stage over like freaking. I don't know, it would be like Georgia or Tennessee or something. Yeah, we're going down now.
Roger, staging.
Oh, what? Now you're gonna try to fix your inclination error? Is that what's happening? Is that what you're doing right now? Is you're trying to fix your inclination error? I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think that's gonna work, computer. I think this is very no good, very bad day that we're about to have. Oh no, no, we're not fixing it. We're just pointing north now. Good. We're no longer going northwest. We're just pointing due north. This is an improvement. As the triumphant music plays. 20,000 feet. 10,000 feet. Hello, ground. And there we go. We have crashed into the ground. All right. End session. Yeah. Who could have imagined that would happen? What is happening? I wonder if there's a thing about it. Launch problems. Okay. After release patch, yeah. Alright, I'm going to try restarting the whole thing, the whole program, and seeing if I can fix that. We're on version... Yeah. We're pretty far updated. Do I want to be on the alpha floor? I don't know. Alright, let's try this again.
If this capsule history of our progress teaches us...
Alright, I'm gonna try changing my name once again to... There's no save button, unfortunately. Campaigns. Mastering orbit. A new spacecraft. Alright. Take two. Or three. Yes, follow all the procedures. Overhead light panel on. All fuses on. Except for the 256 fuse. Computer. Set. Event timer zeroed. Not the O2 heater. Or the ohms heater. Free makes sense. Rate gyros make sense. Aux tape on, auto, C. Start battery checklist. Okay. Time compressed to 50 minutes. Oops, kind of passed it. Battery check. I'm just going to hit the run button and clear it because I know it all works. I'm just going to hit the run button and clear it because I know it all works. Scuba and abort check, run, clear, abort and squib. Board lights are on. Completed successfully. Cool. Internal power at 15 minutes. Roger, will do. Switch to internal power. Switch to internal power. Cool. Pre-flight checklist at 5 minutes. Yeah, it still says I'm player 1 even though I changed my name because there's no save button. Alright, pre-flight checklist. Main batteries 1, computer power on, arm, pumps on, fans on, primary. Okay, so we are currently facing north. If we were to pitch down, it would be down to the north. Yes, so this alignment is proper. I'm going to try to save state. It's not possible during powered maneuvers or critical mission phases. Cool. Alright. OBS self-checks are complete. The D-ring is there. Start the button. It rolls west. I do not like that. Okay, I'm gonna wait for like a full minute. Okay, I'm gonna have you on computer and you on platform to see if that does anything. I don't think it will. Verify alignment complete. Computer mode, ascent. Rate command, open, open, open. 72. Radio check. Okay. It's probably gonna go off to the weeds again. Verify the clocks are running. It's running, computer's running. It's a lot of shaking. We are off into the weeds. Yay! If I turn on that, can I fly it myself? Nope.
Roger, pitch program.
Yep, just kind of careening off into oblivion. Alright. I think the mission's bugged.
Mark, 50 seconds, you're looking good, 8.
Entering abort mode 1 to 2. Yeah.
Roger, Seco.
Yeah.
Roger, staging.
I don't want to ride the Titan into orbit. Because everything is busted. Why? 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 If we go to missions, Gemini, let's do a Gina docking, sure. Alright. So this is... Event timer zeroed. This is just a scenario. This sometimes works for me. Power. And then let's do the pre-flight. Computer power on. 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 Okay, that's complete. Let's wait like 15 seconds or something to make sure it's super complete. Then we'll hit the start button. Now we're gonna wait like a whole minute. See, it's turning west too. I don't know why it wants to turn west. Sent. Rate command. On. 72. Radio check. All right. Let's see if this works.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff.
Nope. It shouldn't be rolling that quickly. Oh? Never mind. See, this is working. This is working just perfectly.
Roger, roll. Good liftoff, 8. Just like okay. Roll is in. We have a pitch program. Roger, pitch program.
See, why did it work now when before it wasn't working? Alright. One more time.
Mark 50.
We're going to go back to the campaign one last time to see if this works. No one is watching. That makes sense. Okay. A state-of-the-art spacecraft that just crashes immediately on launch. Alright, let's turn on the cabin lights. Dimmer as required. Man, I'm gonna have freaking these checklists memorized by the end of this. Turn on flashlight. Everything is closed. Timer zeroed. That is primary, secondary, right? Yeah, okay. Primary, yaw, primary, max flow. Continuous, 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 on. Reentry. Free. Gyros, on. Maybe it's at the gyros. Let's try this. Where I turn the AC power to IGS. And then turn the gyros on. I doubt that's going to change anything. Time scaled forward. What is platform align? Cage platform. Okay. All right. 50 minutes. Run the battery check. .50 minutes battery check, run, test, BT, off, test, oh. Off. Center, fuel cell check, run, fuel cells, all on. Alright. Check. 1B. Check. 1C. Check. 2A. Check. 2B. Check. 2C. Check. Center. Checklist complete. Squib and abort check. All squibs off. S1. Displaying 0, umbilical, 24 volts, off, reading 0, S2, still reading 0, umbilical, reading 24, back to C, still reading 24, verify abort lights are extinguished, and they are. Abort and squibs check. Verify abort lights are on. They are. Completed successfully. Cool. Checklist completed. Full internal power at 15 minutes. Roger, will do. Thank you. What the heck? Sorry, I just opened a random text document called scopes.log and I have no idea what it is. Okay. Anyway. Let me, 15 minutes. We are ready for the full internal power. Hit that run button. On. Full internal power. Checklist complete. Pre-flight checklist. At 5 minutes. Pre-flight checklist and prepare for the flight. Verify all the things are on. Computer on. MCIU on. Squib arm, retro's armed. Primary pumps on, on, on. Alright, OBC self-check complete, D-ring set, computer start, push. Okay, so it makes sense, I guess, that it rolls quote-unquote west, because we're wanting to roll, or to fly off in that direction, which is about 90 degrees to the right of us. So if we roll 90 degrees to the right, and then pitch down, we'll be following along this way, which is our prograde vector. That's not north, that's just prograde. So that does make sense. We do want to roll in that direction. Okay, I'm just going to wait for like a full minute. So at 3:30, I'm going to start the ascent mode. Alright, it's been a full minute. Platforms are aligned. Ascent mode. Rate command. On, on. MDIU 72. For my radio check. Sweet. Okay. Here goes.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition.
Okay, good engine lights. Clock started. Computer running. We have a roll program that is not a pitch program yet. Roll program complete. Goodness gracious. We are going to space today. Finally! How long has it been? Checking my Steam time. 1 minute, or 1 hour 20 minutes. Ugh, pitch program. Alright. Here we go. We're going to space today. Everything's fine. We're about to pass 15,000 feet. Which is abort mode 1-2. Roger.
Mark, 50 seconds. You're looking good, 8.
All good. Let's ride this Titan into orbit. Let's move you back down to the bottom. Let's also turn the lights up. This is a normal ascent profile. Abort mode 2. Roger. Which is this. Roger, abort mode 2. Prepare for staging. We've still got 13% fuel left. Close on 4 Gs. Now we're close to 5 Gs. Goodness gracious. This is a powerful rocket. There goes stage 1. Stage 2 engine burning. Roger staging. We're already at 2 Gs. So if we look outside now, there's stage 1. Look at that horizon. Welcome to space, Aaron. We have a good visual of Earth. Spacecraft seems to be okay. This is true. Everything's finally working properly. Yeah, maybe I just wasn't waiting long enough for the FDAI alignment. Alright, we're doing a little bit of a inclination change, looks like. But I trust the computer to handle it. Alright. Ascent. Staging. Yeah, we're monitoring the fuel. Second stage, engine cutoff and insertion. The mode control panel will light up. We'll push the right buttons, and then we're not going to forget to do the insertion checklist. Alright, pointing down means we're fixing our periaps and apoaps. It's basically raising our periapsis to be closer to our current altitude, if you're going up, which presumably we are. Well, so we're not going down, so yes.
Roger, Seco.
Seco! Cutoff, separating from launch vehicle. Alright, so it is, if we go to ascent, separate spacecraft flight, illuminated, illuminated. Separate spacecraft, push, push. And then you can see separation, jettisoning the scanning covers. So if we go back inside. Jet fairing push, push. I can see the cover. 90 seconds to horizon scanner acquisition. Can you see the cover? Enable the ohms to 0 the forward and back sections of the IVI. Press Roger when complete. Oh, there's the cover. Okay. Alright, so we're going to need to enable the ohms. And then it looks like we need to go backwards and to the right a little bit. Use the insertion checklist using the run feature. Insertion. Rocket insert safe, safe. Retro rocket squib safe, safe. Sequence lights red, green, and amber. Red, green. Test, test, test. And amber. Test. We can close that. And this. Left secondary O2 bottle closed. Closed. There we go. Attitude indicator lights CB closed. That's going to be up here. Closed. Center lights as required. Let's turn those on bright. We don't need them on. Ohms heater CB closed. Closed. Booster heater CB is closed, or H2O heater CB is closed. Closed. Acme bias power primary. That's going to be here. Primary. Roll jets. Yeah. Attitude drivers primary. Primary. Suit fan number 1 and 2. Number 1 and 2. Primary pumps A on. Secondary pump A on. Antenna select adapter. Cryo quantity off. Off. Record off. Off. Main batteries 4 off. Off. Squib batteries 3 off. AC power IGS. IGS. Right O2 selector bottle shut off. Shut off. Voltmeter C. C. Ohms control power off. Prop motor valves closed. RCS prop motor valve closed. Radiator bypass. Computer catch up. And at T plus 30 minutes, we run the radiator check. All right, let's run the checklist. Oh, off is the middle section, not umbilical. At T plus 30 minutes, run the checklist. Cool. Verify that the computer is set to catch up and that the aux tape load indicator is green, meaning the tape is in motion.
Roger, DCS.
Roger. DCS uplink brief. Time to burn. 1 hour 10 minutes. DV 70 feet per second. Catch up burn pad. All right, let's do the burn pad. This is fun. I don't want that. I want mission tools, data forms, catch up maneuver pad. Let's close this. All right, so we take this over here. We copy all this information down into here. So this is a circularization burn. Unfortunately, I can't really type that or write that in. Getty is 00110. So 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. And then 02925, 2, 9, 2, 5. X is 9702. 9 means it's negative. 0, 7, 0, 2. Everything else is 0 except for Z, which is slightly. It's a 0.3 feet, so I just don't care. Burn time 35 seconds. 0, 3, 5, 0.10. And then altitude is 8383. 0, 0, 0, 0, 8, 8, 3, 3.44. Over. Computer is at catch-up. We are uplinking an OBC update with the target parameters of the new circular orbit. The burn will take place at periapsis in about 1 hour, 1 minute, and 20 seconds. Roger, we'll prepare for a circulation burn at the next PE. Roger, if you feel too pressured, the burn can take place at the apoapse of the next orbit. Just follow the circularization checklist manually. Okay, you know the drill. Verify the OBC cores and reference the circularization orbit checklist. Burn will start at PA and periapsis and lower the apoapsis. Keep an eye on time to periapsis. I'll prepare it for the burn. Let me know when it's 5 minutes to burn and enable OMS. Roger. Powering the controller for the OMS. Roger, set spacecraft to small end forward. That's easy enough. Spacecraft to small end forward. Burn will be prograde using forward thrusters. Translate backwards in SEF to lower the apoapsis or apogee at perigee. Yes. So this is going to be, that's what the negative means, is that we're burning backwards. So small end forward is fine. We can translate in any direction. We have received the data, so let's push the clear button. Come over here and verify that it's all set up properly. So 110, squat 02 is 2925, clear that out, and 25, read out, should be 90701, it's close enough, and 26 should be 0, 27, I wonder if there's even anything in there, 902, clear. Cool. Everything's set up properly. Let us keep that out and run the circularization orbit checklist. Catch up, wait for it to load. It's still loading. Request the data. We've requested the data. We've verified it. Countdown to ignition. Core 84 is our baby here, which we don't have because the tape isn't loaded yet. However, we do know that we're going to need to set this timer. So if we come over here, we're going to stop the timer, set it to countdown mode, and then set this to read 10 minutes exactly. There we go. 10 minutes exactly. Alright, here's our mission clock. So at 1 hour, 10 minutes and 29 seconds, we're going to need to start the burn, which means at 1 hour and 29 seconds on the exactly, we're going to need to start this timer by flicking the switch up to standby. So that means we can actually time accelerate a little bit. Let's time accelerate up to 30 minutes to run the radiator check. They're going to tell us to switch to flow instead of bypass. There we go. Radiator temp. Inlet at 12. Set radiator flow. Set radiator flow. There we go. Alright, we are now properly in an orbit. We're small end forward. Platform. I want to be in attitude control. There we go. You can see the beauty of the Earth. Alright, we need to wait for another about 30 minutes. Is going to be 4:30. Actually, let's do 4:25. 4:28, yeah. As the sun sets. Okay, let's come over here. So the computer's finished loading. So at 56:29, this readout should be something on the order of, what is that going to be, 14 minutes? Yeah, it should be about 14 minutes, I think. So at 29, I'm going to need to hit this readout button, just to verify my math is correct. Um... 83, not 84. Core 84. I need to actually start the computer, you dummy. There it is! Alright. So, at 29 seconds, it should read 13 minutes. 13 on the dot. Good. Alright, computer's running. We have our data values there. Awesome. So at 1 hour and 29 seconds, I just need to flick this switch. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switch. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0950. Ah, close enough. Alright. Cool. We are now 10 minutes away from the burn. IVIs will show the local burn vector or in the local body axis, which is really nice, which means you can be in any orientation and complete these maneuvers, which is super handy. However, I always like to be either big end forward or small end forward. Today we're going to be small end forward, which means we're going to need to burn backwards. But that's okay. Still a gorgeous day outside. Alright. So now we basically time accelerate till... What did it say? Transcript. I even know it's 5 minutes to burn. Did he actually... He did enable the OAMS! You jerk! That's my job! Well, technically it is his job. Alright. Well, in that case, since we do have the OAMS, let's orient the spacecraft directly along the prograde axis. There we go. And then we wait. Five minutes to periapsis, prepare for burn. If you need to wait for the next passing, use the circularize orbit checklist and execute the burn at the next apoapsis. Roger, let's circularize this orbit. Alright, at 2 minutes this light extinguishes. And there we go. And it's going to unextinguish. Alright, we have ohms power, ohms control, everything's good. We're going to zero those IVIs when the light turns on and this starts going, which is going to involve an aft burn. 4, 3, 2, 1, start. We've zeroed the IVIs. Great job. Main objective complete. Get rid of that. Not bad. Next item is to start preparing for the retrograde burn. Let's clear that out. Wish to splash down the Atlantic, so our retrograde burn should be on the west coast of the US during the orbital. Using the orbital cursor on the orbital view, press C to toggle the orbital cursor, then drag the slider so it's about its present position is above the coast. Still looking at the map view, we'll timescale until we have passed the orbit cursor before proceeding. This is because we want to have full orbit preparation time for reentry. Press Roger when you have pressed past the orbital cursor. Okay. So, on orbital view, we use this cursor Whee! Alright, so we need to come over to the United States. We want it to be like over there. Alright. And then we want to, before I time accelerate, proper checklist procedure is to turn those off. Now, we can proceed. And there's us. Zoop. There we go. Then get back in cockpit view and request that the retrograde burn should happen on the orbital cursor point. Press Roger when you have done so. Retro at orbital cursor. Time to retro has been updated to 1 hour, 27 minutes, 9 seconds. Please double check core 19 and make adjustments if needed. We should now have a retrograde burn time. We will start the retrograde checklist 30 minutes before ignition. So we need to check core 19, clear, 19, readout. This is not in minutes and seconds. This is just in pure seconds. So that's 5,210 seconds. Alright. So he says to wait until 30 minutes. 30 minutes in seconds is some number I could probably do in my head, but I'm just going to use a calculator. 1,800 seconds. Pre-retro. Alright. Time to passing. So at 30 minutes is when we want, roughly. So I'll do it at 35 minutes. Oh, current objective. There it is. Reach T minus 1,800 seconds. I guess I could be looking outside as this happens. Alright, we're going to need to set up the timer for 20 minutes. Okay, so we can wait all the way until 30 minutes. We are 30 minutes from retrograde. Proceed with the pre-retro checklist using the run feature. Alright. Pre-retro. Sequence lights. Bright. That's over here. Let's look down here. Sequence lights are bright. Sequence light test amber and red. Amber. Everything works. Red and green. Everything works. Check. Left panel CBs closed. TR256 closed. Ohms control power on. Platform big end forward. Attitude control. Platform. Event timer standby. It is on standby. I'm going to actually go down. Set timer to 20 minutes. So let's increase this to 20. Decrease the seconds. There we go. Left O2 bottle open. Open. Palette checklist. Overhead panel closed except ohms and O2 heater. So let's get rid of this. O2 heater closed. Ohms heater closed. Or open, sorry. Center light as needed. Let's turn that on. Yeah. Suit fan number 1, 2. Keying. Constant interphone. Push to talk. C reentry. C band reentry is on continuous. T RTN acquisition. Antenna select. Reentry. Voltmeter. Battery test. Main batteries test off. All batteries work. Voltmeter back to center. Attitude indicator with FDI. That is... There it is. Right panel CBs closed except Caleb CB. That is you. Open. Agena power control, open. Agena control, open. Exterior lights off. Engine stop. Right secondary O2 bottle open. Alright, let's hit that run button. Did I miss a squib over here? Nope. Cool. Set event timer to 20. Overhead CBs all except center light as needed. Check. Suit fan number 1 and 2. Volt motor B test. Yep, we already tested that. Right panel CBs all closed except the ones that I opened at 20 minutes. All right, 12. Going through the checklist now. Roger. All right. So this timer up here should work, roughly. So at 1 minute, it should be about 1260 some. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to see what actual timer it was. Okay. 2, 1, 50. So, oh, okay. You know what I'm going to do? At 20 seconds, I'm going to hit this button. 20 plus 45 is 3505. Which means at 35, it should read 30 seconds prior to 20 minutes. 35, 30 seconds. Good. So at 05, I just click this button up. $14. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, standby. Check. Computer mode reentry. Wait for the module to complete loading, which should take about 10 minutes. There it is. Computer start, push. Checklist complete. Roger, then run the 2 and 56 to retro checklist. Follow the event timer marks and complete the checklist. Press Pro on the last step. Alright, event timer 416. Alright, let's just run over it. Sequence lights, amber. So all of these should turn on to amber. Computer is in reentry mode. It is in reentry mode. Squib batteries on. Main batteries on. RCS prop motor valves A and B open. Record continuous. Cryo quantity off. Antenna select reentry. It already is. Commander FDR is going to be in platform, which it is. And attitude, which it is. Scale range high. It's going to be that one. Attitude control rate command reentry, which is that setting. Gyros are all primary. Ohms control power off. Prop motor valves closed. We should actually orient ourselves proper big end forward before we actually start this checklist. While we still have OEMS. Alright, that's going to be 416. Alright. We're going to do indicate retro attitude push, RCS push, which are up here. Indicate retro attitude and RCS push. Retro power arm, that's going to be down here. Right there. We're going to do control spacecraft attitude 2 and hold retro attitude 20 degrees pitch down. So when we hit this button, it's going to pitch us 20 degrees down. We're going to want to hold that. Pilot FDR platform, attitude, and high. HFTR off. It's going to be somewhere over here. Primary pumps off, secondary pumps off, radiator bypass. And then we start the 1 minute to retro checklist. Okay. So that starts at 4:16. Oh, not the pre-retro. There we go. So let's look out the window for a couple minutes. Man, the computer's not doing a great job of maintaining attitude. All right, I don't trust you anymore, computer. There we go. All right, 4:16. Clear all. Run the checklist. Yep. Squib batteries on. Main batteries on. Prop motor LCS valve open. Open. Prop gauge RCS is going to be RCS A. Boom. Record continuous. This needs to be rate command reentry. Ohms off, off. You want to be an Acme, which is up. Alright. Indicate retro attitude. Push. RCS push. Yeah, that is that button. Okay. Spacecraft maintain 20 degrees pitch down, which as you can see, we are indicating 20 degrees to pitch down. You need to be in plat attitude high. Coolant pumps primaries 1, 2, or primary and secondary pumps off. Bypass. Start 1 minute to retro checklist. 1 minute to retro. Alright. We're going to hold this attitude. Check. Separate OMS line, which is this one. Push. Separate electric. Push. Separate adapter. Push. 30 seconds, we're going to arm the retro squibs, which is these. At 5 seconds, arm auto arm retro. Push. Wait for event timer to start counting up. I wonder, can I like... No. It's not going to start counting up, so I have to manually adjust it to start counting up, unfortunately. Alright. At 1 minute to retro. We are in a nice retro attitude. So what's going to happen is when we push those buttons, all of the connections between this module and this module separate. We're going to push this module off. The retro rockets are in this middle section. They're going to fire, and then we're going to separate that section right here. We have 30 seconds. We've done a whole orbit. "15 seconds. We're going to hold this attitude. Alright. Separate ohms line. Push. Separate electric. Push. Separate adapter. Push. Adapter is separated. Roger. And you can see the 4 little retro rockets there. At 30 seconds, we're going to arm the squibs. Arming squibs. T-minus 5 seconds. Auto-arm retro. Wait for the retros to fire, and then we're going to hit the manual button. Eight, 7, 6, 5. Alright. Wait for retros to fire. Man retro push. At 30 seconds. So all 4 engines fire. Cool. They gave us about 300 feet per second. Delta V. Alright, big end forward at 45 seconds. Retro jettison light amber. And then we're going to push that. 45 seconds, amber. Push it. Complete the post retro jettison checklist. So now we've separated that section. This is it. We are soon entering the atmosphere. Cool. Post retro jettison. Time flies while in space. It also flies when you do time compression. Alright, good luck with reentry. If you feel you have the time and control, perform some slight RCS movements to ensure jet temperatures are good. Roger, see you on the inside. Alright, retro power. It's going to be safe. Let's come down here. Safe. Jettison. Retro jettison safe. Retro rocket squibs safe. Commander FDR is going to set to computer. Attitude. Low scale. RCS control power B. Off. Boost insert control 1 and 2 circuit breaker open. Boost cutoff. Boost insert 1 and 2 open. Retro sequence control 1 and 2 open. Ohms control propellant circuit breaker. That might be up here. Or it might be over here. Ohms control propellant circuit breakers open. This is all power stuff. Ohms control propellant circuit breakers. Ohms control propellant circuit breaker open. There we go. Fuel cell control 1 and 2 open. Or not open. Oh, fuel cell control, yeah. That's going to be up here. Coolant pumps. Transmitters, suit fans. Lights. Ohms control. Maneuver thrusters. That is none of this. Is that because power is over here. Fuel cell control. Circuit breakers open. Tape recorder circuit breaker or controller open. Boost insert, retro sequence controller. We've done that. Cryo 2 and H2O heater. I don't think we did that actually. H2O heaters are open. Cryo O2 and H2O heater CBs. It's got to be up here. Coolant pumps, cryo quantity, suit fans, coolant valves, lights. This is all controls. It might be over here. RCS heaters. Fuel cell O2 regulators. Alright. Ohms control prop circuit breaker. We already did that. Fuel cell control 1 and 2. We already did that. Tape recorder control circuit breaker. Open. Section 1 and 2 power off. Fuel cells off. Pilot FDR computer. Pilot FDM attitude. Landing squib arm. Record DVs. Start entry checklist. Alright. Apparently you also want the controller off. Was it just the controller? Did I do the wrong one? RCS controller power be off. The valve should be open, controller power is off. That makes sense. These are the heaters. Okay, that makes sense. Cryo, O2 and H2 heater. Take note of the DV vector. Start entry checklist. Entry checklist. Note, the TR will vary. At 1430, 0 degree yaw, and 170 degree roll. Horizon at top of window. So we're basically going to want to turn this around so we're facing the other direction. So our head's down. Okay. So we'll wait till 14 minutes. You can see we're descending. You have crossed the entry interface. Prepare for atmospheric entry drag. Alright, so let's roll around to 170 degrees. It's going to be right about there. So this should boost us, like loft us through the upper atmosphere a little bit. You can kind of see. After roll needle deflection, control spacecraft attitude to backup bank angle and damp pitch and yaw rates. Attitude control, rate command reentry. Which it already is. Alright, so now it's basically a matter of managing our orientation and our G meters. Ideally, I'm going to try to keep it between 3 and 5 Gs. Or, like, no more than 5 Gs. 6 Gs is a lot. Already counting down the miles to our landing zone. We're probably going to pass it, just because I've never been very good at hitting the landing zone. And it's not going to be necessarily the Atlantic. It looks like we're going to be landing in the Caribbean. I'm not sure this was the best place to land. Oh yeah, our landing zone was right there. We have, I think we're going to pass it. Because we're only just now starting to pick up some Gs. See, I feel like, because we way super passed the thing, and I feel like I should have been digging into the atmosphere a little bit sooner. Because if I go like this, if I go heads up, I think heads up is going to push us into the atmosphere a little bit faster. Yeah, but now it's too much, so I'm going to need to definitely roll out of this. We need to try lofting. Definitely need to get better at reentry. Yeah, we just passed 5 Gs. Because now the spacecraft is lofting up into, like, is being pushed back up, which keeps us in the thinner parts of the atmosphere and thus limits our G load. And now it's starting to go down. So I'm going to want to start digging us back into the atmosphere just a little bit. We missed it by a couple 100 miles. Yeah, so next time I'm going to keep it in a heads up attitude for longer. You can see our G meter is starting to rise again because we're starting to dig into the thicker parts of the atmosphere. Yeah, we're going to be landing... Oh, in Puerto Rico. That's convenient. Okay. Alright, landing checklist. I should actually run the entry checklist. Oh, there is no running. Okay, landing. $40K illuminates. Push the high drag. RCS control Acme. A and B. High drag push. D ring uncover. I forgot to cover it. RCS prop motor valves closed. Closed. O2 high rate on at 27, which we're past 27. High rate on. Is capsule 1. Do you read? We can hear you 1 by 5. Can you repeat? Okay, we have contact. Follow the landing checklist and prepare your drogue. Great to see you. Welcome home. Performing landing checklist. There goes the drogue. Drogue, prepare for main. Main happens at 10.6. So there's the drogue. We only missed it by 500 miles. Alright, 10.6. Parachute is this one, and landing attitude is that one. And then after main deploys, it's a lot of stuff. We're falling down on the drogue chute. .6 will fire in about 500 feet. Actually, I think that's 5,000 feet. Yeah, this is tens of thousands of feet. .6 parachute. We see the mains. Set landing attitude and prepare for splashdown. Recovery close. Landing attitude will point us forward. On the way not too far, we still see you. Yeah, 500 miles out. After mainnet, deploy. Fuse attitude indicator. Control retro down, down. Acme bias power. Off. Fuse heaters A and B. Off, off. Horizon scanner open. Computer mode pre-launch. Off. IGS platform off, 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 off. Attitude selector AC power source off. All of these are off. Controller power RCSA off, off. Fuse Acme control off, off. At 2,000 feet. We toggle the D-ring. It's just kind of waiting for that to happen. One fun thing about this game is when you're in re-entry mode like this, when it switches to being the landing, the entire Earth turns to ocean. Because I'm pretty sure we're going to land like on Puerto Rico. And I cannot time compression. Well, once it actually worked, once we were able to launch, the mission only took an hour. Oh, when I turn this into a video, I'm going to need to put chapters on that, probably. Hey, we can see the ship. Still 3,000 feet. Abort! Just abort into the ocean. Alright, toggle the D-ring, stow it. Cool. It's kind of a fun fact that it usually takes about 30 minutes for commercial jets to descend from cruise altitude to landing. So it's funny that it takes an actual spacecraft the same amount of time to go from retro burn to splashdown. Sploosh. Splashdown! Descent altitude worked out fine. We burned some of the OMS and then like a tiny bit of the ohms and then a bunch of the RCS on reentry. Our APWAPs on reentry. You can see where I started to float down a little bit. Or turned it to a float and then digging down. And then I turned it back into a float. The G load, yeah, kind of spiked there up close to 7. Unfortunately. Alright. End mission. Dare I attempt a second mission? The walk in space. Performed the first ever EVA attempt by the US. Once again, the USSR beat the US in performing the first EVA in Vashchad a few months ago, but this is a critical maneuver and we need to master for Project Apollo. I think I will do this some other time. Until then, thanks for watching if you have been. I understand if you wouldn't. C.